Sure. And in the city controller's race, Dennis Zine versus our guest, Ron Galperin. Ron, how are you?
I'm great. Good morning.
Thank you for being with us again. We're trying to get all the candidates in early next week. We'll get Carmen Trutanich, Dennis Zine, and we'll give another opportunity to Eric Garcetti to come on in and make their closing arguments as we talk to each of the candidates. So we've got a bunch of stories in front of me about the city election. One says that the L.A. mayor's race may not be known the results for weeks because they're going to have to count all those absentee ballots and mail-in ballots. The other one is, because if it's as close as the polls are showing, it could be that way. And the other one says that the turnout is going to be, and this word, paltry. That's the forecast, paltry. What is your polling telling you, Ron?
Well, there was about a 20% turnout for the primary. Most likely you may see that number go up by a few percentage points, and that's likely going to be about it.
And then there's this one. I've never heard the word low profile and Dennis Zine used in the same sentence, but the L.A. Times is calling in a low profile race, Zine and Galperin have a feisty final debate. Dennis is not known for being low profile, but I got a great mailer from your campaign to the House, and it was an ice cream cone with 2 scoops of Dennis Zine's head.
I'm glad you liked it. It was about double-dipping Dennis, as it were, and about the money that he collects not only for the pension, but also as a salaried employee of the city of Los Angeles. And mind you, it's not so much even about the pension, but it's also about how it was padded to come to the number that it was at. That was a big issue with Bernard Parks as well, who used to be the chairman of the City Council Budget Committee and held hearings on out-of-control pensions. And when someone said, but you're bringing in almost $500,000 a year, he said, well, I'm not here to talk about my pension. I earned my pension. And our point here has always been everybody has, quote-unquote, earned their pension if you give it to them. If you make a deal and you offer these pension deals, then everybody who's got it rightly says, that's my deal. Well, the real question also is he the kind of person who's going to be able to audit all the various pensions and audit the problems that we have in the city of L.A.? For 12 years he's been on the city council, been part of the problem in creating them, and is not the right guy to actually fix them.
Now, Ron, talk to me about these special funds. We've got anywhere between the fact that we don't even know how many of them there are. Wendy Gruhl says that she's auditing 600 of them, but the number that Paul Krikorian threw out from the city council is 600 to 800. And we know that the mayor just created another one, taking $21 million and putting into a special account so that if the next mayor, Gruhl or Garcetti, can't talk the unions into givebacks, that the money is there to actually pay the deals we are legally obligated to give the unions on these raises that were signed, but there's another $21 million sitting in a special account.
There are hundreds of special accounts, and they are really badly accounted for. I'll give you a couple of quick examples. The Gas Tax Street Improvement Fund brings in $120 million a year. Prop A Fund brings in $157 million a year. The Solid Waste Fund brings in $317 million a year. And what you need is somebody who's going to be the watchdog to watch over it, to make sure that it is coming in and being spent the right way.
Now, we saw at the state level that the State Parks Department was hiding millions and millions and millions of dollars. They just didn't tell the legislature or the governor or anybody about it. And you have to wonder, we're constantly being hectored over the city of Los Angeles is flirting with bankruptcy. It's bankrupt. We have to cut services. We have to raise fees. We have to raise taxes. We have to, jack up the parking meters, extend the hours. Basically, it's sniper fire coming in from city government at the citizens. And you have to wonder, if you actually went through all of these accounts, how many millions of dollars is just sitting in accounts accruing interest in special funds that no one ever talks about?
Or even worse, perhaps not accruing interest in some of these special funds.
Well, that's true, because we saw that years ago when Jim Hahn was still mayor. There was like $20 million in parking meter violations that had been collected by a company the city had hired to go get the money, and then the city never asked the company for the money. The company had it.
It's unconscionable. I chaired the Commission on Revenue Efficiency that was a specially created commission of 7 experts to identify monies that we're not collecting and opportunities that we have, up to about $450 million a year. And that doesn't even include this 40% that we have of our budget, of general fund budget, that comes from other governmental sources.